think everybody was shocked that I took a different route.
Different to your previous body of work?
Yes.
Which actually featured not the last one, but the one before, Children of the Necklace.
Yeah.
You should Google it. It's a very powerful body of work where Ronald portrayed people whose skin is like that of the Chinese bags, you know, those chest pattern big bags that usually migrants are using. So Ronald created actually humans whose skin is of that kind of pattern. And they were powerful commentary on xenophobia. And those cut out pieces of color that you used here in a collage, they were actually cut in drawings from...
Yeah. So, so what I did was, instead of just exploring this aesthetic and making it very like in your face and not knowing where the source came from, I also tried to connect the previous body of work with this. So there's an artwork called Black Bodies. So the black bodies had this pattern. So what I did was I cut, I didn't want to go through the process of painting again. So I had to cut that painting, not completely kill the painting, but to cut certain areas where the pattern was, and then sort of like distribute the pattern evenly into other artworks, and this is one of them. Just to make a fresh connection between the body of work that
And in terms of the body of work being all with the black background, almost all with black backgrounds, was it perceived by the audience who saw it so far as something necessarily dark? Because we usually associate when it's a black background, it must be something painful or sad.
I don't know. I think in general, most people are saying that the work is brave. I think the work has so much layers to it. So it might be, I might have my own interpretation of, or the initial idea, but then in someone else's eyes, it might mean something else. I think the biggest issue, the biggest challenge I had in the past was that the work I made was very conceived to be dark. So what I did was I infused some playful elements like patterns, designs, sort of like playful, childlike mark making to tone down that seriousness. But then I had to do it where a surface allowed it to, so the black kind of like became the foundation.
I remember a work of yours that I saw at in the exhibition Michaela's gallery, the circus and the zoo, and it was like of a woman's figure that turned into like a
Hyena.
Hyena,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah.
So what was that? I think it wasn't just that. Were there more of your works in that exhibition? That like morphing between human figure and animal.
Yeah.
And they're all female figures, right?
Yeah.
So what was that body of work about?
So
I understand within the relation of the exhibition, which was referencing that, well, I don't know if that was the main reference, but that moment when that like woman in Durban referred to all the black people on the beach on New Year's as monkeys, and that whole thing about the making the black body this animal body, and that anyway that whole rhetoric around that.
Yeah.
So that I understand how that it was included in the exhibition. What was that body of work about?
So initially, I got invited to be part of a group show in Stellenbosch University, the gallery of University of Stellenbosch, and there's this wine farm further down, starts with an L. Okay.
There are so many wine
Yeah,
farms.
it has a big gallery space also. So
not Kavali.
no. So basically the title of the exhibition was called. It has something to do with the curse or something like that. So I was looking at the idea of witchcraft and women who get cursed to not be able to conceive within the African spiritual context. So, so that woman with the hyena, the body of a hyena, the head of a hyena, whatever, and the hooves of a hyena was much more me trying to visualize how the transformation from this person in the middle of the night transforming into this sort of like animal riding in the middle of the night. Because a hyena is a form of, within African mythology, the hyena is seen as a form of transportation.